Hey everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica. And today's video is going to be a let's chat about keeping up, falling behind, gaps in education, whatever you want to call it, that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before I get started, I am going to try really hard not to get on a soapbox. This is a subject that I feel very passionately about. So I'm going to try really hard to refrain myself. But I also want to say that if you disagree with me, you are totally entitled to your own opinion. I respect your opinion. I hope you will respect mine, and also know that you're not going to change mine, so don't really try. But that being said, here at the Waldock Way, we are far from a traditional homeschool. We do things quite differently. We are child-led and interest-led and unit study, and we don't do anything from start to finish, lesson 1 through lesson 180, and because of that, I get a lot of questions. Aren't you worried Emily's going to fall behind? Or aren't you worried she's going to miss out learning on 1, 2, 3 or XYZ? The short answer to that is no. I mean, obviously I'm a mom and obviously I want what's best for my child. So yes, there are times when doubt and insecurity sneak up and, sneak into my brain. And that is totally, I'm human. So no, I can't control that. That does happen. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, no, I'm not worried. My goal was that Emily loved learning and she loves to learn. And that has always been the most important for us and our homeschool. But I also remind myself that this is a cold, hard fact. I don't care how hard you try. There is absolutely no way that you can teach your child everything there is to learn by the time they're 18 and they leave your homeschool. It's not going to happen. I don't care how hard you try, you can't do it. So at some point, you're going to have to pick and choose what you're going to teach them. So every single child is going to miss out on something. There is going to be something that you didn't teach them. So you're going to have to just decide what it is you want to teach. What is important to you? What are your priorities as the homeschool mom? And that is where, you have to set your goals and you have to write your homeschool vision, but you're not going to be able to teach everything. It's impossible. You're never going to be able to do it. So I don't worry about her falling behind because I know I can't do it. That would be an impossible goal to set for myself. I also know that if every child was meant to be at a certain level, if every person was meant to be at a certain level, then the entire world would fall apart because you wouldn't have, managers and employees. Think about the real world with adults. You have multiple levels of education. You have multiple levels of intelligence. People fit into different jobs better than others. People thrive in different positions. And without a specialized education, that wouldn't be possible. So I don't think there is such a thing as being behind. And that is my personal opinion. And you are more than welcome to disagree with me. But I feel like every child is right where every child is meant to be. Yes, some children have learning struggles and learning disabilities, and I understand that it may be more difficult for them. I am not saying that that is not the case. What I'm saying is they're not behind. There is no such thing as being behind somebody else. They're right where they're meant to be. And at one point and one day in time, they are going to do whatever it is they're meant to do. They're going to find their niche, they're going to find their thing, and they're going to thrive no matter whether they were kept on level for their peers in their grade. It's not going to matter. It's just not. I think that learning is something that as long as you're progressing and you're moving forward, then you're going in the right direction. It doesn't matter if you have a second grader working at a fourth grade level or a fourth grader working at a second grade level. Does it really matter? Now, all of that being said, there is somebody who can say this so much more eloquently and so much more black and white than I can. And so I'm going to read out of her book, and that's Cindy West. And the book I'm reading out of is Homeschooling Gifted Kids. I read this paragraph and I immediately took a picture and messaged her and said, I really want to hug your neck, shake your hand, and kiss you because it was the best analogy that I had ever heard when it came to the question of keeping up or being behind. So I'm going to read it to you. It was a frequently asked question in the back of her book. And the question was, how will I know if my kids are keeping up? And Cindy's answer, and I'm going to just read it word for word, was, so many parents worry about this question. My first question to ask you in return is, who are you worried about keeping up with? Are you hoping to keep up with the kids in 4th grade at your local school? If so, there are 24 kids in the class and they're all working at 24 different levels. Would you like to attain the 4th grade standards of a public school? Almost every school and every district in every state has a different standard. Would you like to know that your child can do the work in a grade level textbook? Choose a stack of textbooks and they will each expect a different skill level. Do you want to keep up with all the kids the same age at your homeschool co-op? Each one of those children has a different learning style, different gifts, and different challenges. My point is that there is no standard that your child must meet. He or she should be steadily progressing in all subjects, whether he or she is working 3 grade levels ahead of his age or 1 grade level behind. If you observe growth, don't worry about keeping up with anyone else. That is exactly how I feel in a nutshell. I highly recommend this book, and I also highly recommend for you to try really hard to get those thoughts out of your head, because seriously, keeping up is overrated. There is no such thing as keeping up or falling behind or gaps or anything else. Your child is right where they need to be. Just help them progress and help make sure that they love to learn, because that is what's important.